The alien queen offers marriage to the human who rescued her. Among them, a lone human spacecraft glided silently through the asteroid belt near the Zurith system. Its hull bore the marks of countless missions, and its engine hummed a steady rhythm as Captain Jace Ryland piloted it with calm precision. He had flown across more sectors of space than most humans could imagine, and yet, the mysteries of the universe never failed to excite him. On this particular mission, Jace had been scouting for rare minerals on the outer fringes of the belt, a simple task he had done many times before. But suddenly, a faint signal appeared on his scanner. It was faint, erratic, and unlike any mining beacon he had ever seen. Curiosity piqued. Jace adjusted the ship's course to trace the origin of the transmission. The signal led him deeper into a region littered with massive, jagged asteroids spinning slowly in the void. He had to weave his craft through narrow gaps, dodging rocks the size of small cities. The control panel beeped warnings, but Jace's hands moved with confidence, guiding the ship like an extension of his own body. Finally, the signal stabilized, leading him to a ruined structure floating among the rocks. A strange, alien ruin, partially destroyed, with a faint glow emanating from its core. Jace activated the ship's external cameras and peered at the structure. It was unlike anything built by humans. Its surfaces shimmered with an iridescent material, and geometric patterns shifted subtly, as if the building were alive. But something inside caught his attention. There, in the heart of the ruin, was a figure trapped beneath a fallen pillar. The being's form was tall and elegant, with limbs shaped in a way humans had never encountered. Its skin reflected the light in colors that seemed impossible, shifting from sapphire blue to emerald green depending on the angle. And though it was clearly in distress, there was a regal grace in its posture that made Jace pause. "This is no ordinary alien," he muttered to himself. He scanned the life signs. They were weak, barely detectable, but unmistakably present. Jace knew he couldn't leave this being to die. His mind raced. The ruin was unstable, and moving in too quickly could trigger a collapse. Yet leaving it here was not an option. Taking a deep breath, he activated the ship's external thrusters and maneuvered closer. He deployed the rescue pod, a small craft designed for dangerous operations outside the main ship. The pod's lights cut through the darkness as he approached the ruin. "Hang on," Jace whispered. "I'm coming." The moment he entered the ruin, he understood the danger. The structure was old but still semi-functional. Robotic sentinels, motionless at first, suddenly activated, their glowing red eyes scanning for intruders. They moved with precision, surrounding the trapped figure, their weapons charging. Jace cursed under his breath. Robots. Of course, he activated the pod's defense systems, launching EMP pulses that temporarily disabled several sentinels. Others approached faster than he expected, their movements precise and almost human-like. Jace realized that brute force would not be enough. He needed to think. The alien figure looked at him, its eyes, or whatever functioned as eyes, filled with an expression that Jace interpreted as hope. That gave him focus. Using the pod's grappling arms, he began carefully lifting the fallen debris. One massive pillar resisted his efforts, threatening to crush both him and the alien. "Steady," he muttered, repositioning the arms. With a final heave, the pillar shifted just enough to free the figure. The alien fell into his arms. It moved with a weightless elegance, its body cool to the touch but alive with energy. Jace felt a wave of relief wash over him. He had done it. "Are you safe?" he asked. He didn't expect a reply in words. Instead, the being's form shimmered, almost like a nod. But then he heard a sound, a voice, not through air but directly in his mind. "You have saved me, human. I am Larvana, queen of my people. You have my gratitude and my curiosity." Jace blinked, stunned. He had encountered alien life before, but telepathic communication was rare, even among advanced species. You're welcome," he stammered. "I just didn't want to see anyone hurt." Larvana's voice, or thought, was calm, yet filled with authority. "Your courage is unusual. You risked yourself where others would hesitate." Jace felt a mix of pride and confusion. "Well, I guess humans have a reputation for stubbornness." A faint laugh echoed in his mind. "Perhaps, but you have proven far more than stubbornness. You have ingenuity. You have compassion, qualities my people have rarely encountered in others." The sentinels had begun reactivating, and Jace realized they needed to leave. He guided Larvana back to the rescue pod and initiated the return to his ship. Even as they moved, He couldn't shake the feeling that he had stumbled into something far larger than a simple rescue mission. Once safely aboard his ship, Jace helped Larvana stabilize. The alien's form shimmered with energy as she regained strength. Despite her current weakness, there was an aura of authority that filled the cabin, commanding attention without a word. "Your technology is primitive," she noted after a moment, her voice tinged with amusement. "Yet it has served its purpose." Jace grinned. "Primitive, maybe. Effective, absolutely. We humans have our ways." Larvana's attention shifted to him fully, her gaze, or its equivalent, piercing yet not unkind. "There is something in you that my people do not often see. Perhaps that is why fate has brought you to me." "What do you mean?" Jace asked cautiously. He had faced danger before, but something about this being made him instinctively wary and yet intrigued. "In your actions, you have displayed qualities that are rare across the stars: courage, intelligence, and mercy. You have saved not only a life, but perhaps the balance of events yet to come." Jace swallowed hard, unsure how to respond. "I was just doing my job," he said, though even he knew it was more than that. There had been a choice, and he had chosen to act. Larvana tilted her head slightly, a motion that somehow conveyed curiosity. "In human terms, you are remarkable. In my people's terms, you are interesting. You may find, human, that your life is about to change." Jace felt a thrill mixed with apprehension. Change was something he was used to. Space explorers never stayed in one place for long. But there was a weight in her words that suggested consequences beyond anything he had imagined. As they prepared to leave the asteroid belt, a sudden alert flashed across the ship's monitors. Other signals, similar to the one that had led him here, appeared, some close, some far. Jace frowned. The rescue might have been only the beginning. "Are we in danger?" he asked. Larvana's form shimmered with calm. "Danger is always present, but it seems fortune has favored us." "For now," Jace nodded, adjusting the ship's trajectory. He felt the thrill of adventure coursing through him. Saving Larvana had been extraordinary, but he sensed that this encounter was only the first step in a journey that would challenge everything he knew about humanity, the galaxy, and himself. Hours passed in tense silence, broken only by the hum of the engines. Slowly, Larvana began to regain her full strength, her body glowing faintly with an inner light. She observed Jace quietly, analyzing his behavior, noting his quick thinking and steady hands. There was respect in her gaze, but also curiosity. "Captain Jace Rylan," she said finally, her voice formal yet direct. "You have saved a queen. Few in the galaxy would have dared what you have done. Few would have succeeded. I wish to understand you, and perhaps offer you a reward beyond your imagination." Jace blinked. "A reward? I'm just a pilot. I don't usually get rewards like this." Larvana's presence filled the cabin, a sense of power and history that made him feel both small and important at once. "You underestimate yourself, human. Your actions have proven that humanity, though young among the stars, has qualities worthy of recognition. You may find that your life, and that of your species, is about to intersect with the destiny of the stars in ways you cannot yet imagine." Jace looked out the viewport at the endless expanse of space, feeling the weight of her words. He had faced danger countless times, but never like this. Never with a being so powerful and ancient, yet so reliant on his courage and skill. He didn't yet understand what she meant by reward, but instinctively, he knew it would be more than mere riches or accolades. As the ship left the asteroid belt behind, Jace allowed himself a small smile. He had saved a life, yes, but it seemed the galaxy had saved him, too, in ways he could not yet see. And somewhere deep inside, he felt a spark of excitement. The adventure was only beginning. The human ship glided through the quiet emptiness of space, leaving the shattered ruins of the asteroid belt behind. Captain Jace Rylan sat in the pilot's chair, still feeling the rush of adrenaline from the rescue. The faint glow of the alien queen, Larvana, filled the cabin with shifting colors that reflected off the metal walls. Her presence was calm, but it carried a weight that made the ship feel both small and important at the same time. "Are you comfortable?" Jace asked, trying to break the silence. Larvana tilted her head, her form shimmering. "I am recovering. Your assistance has allowed me to regain strength more quickly than expected." Her voice resonated in his mind, and he found it strange but not unsettling. It was almost as if she were speaking directly to his thoughts. "I'm glad I could help," he said. "But I didn't do it for rewards." "Most beings act only for reward," Larvana replied, her tone almost amused. That is why your actions are remarkable. You act for what is right rather than for gain or recognition. Jace shrugged. I guess humans can be stubbornly moral sometimes, or maybe just lucky. She shimmered brighter at his words. Perhaps it is both, but your courage is evident, human. Your people, they are young, yet they have the spark of greatness. That is why I must speak plainly. I wish to offer you a gift, a reward for your actions. Jace blinked. He had faced danger before, but an alien queen offering him a gift was something else entirely. Gift, he echoed. What kind of gift? Larvana's form shifted, the light rippling like water over her body. A gift that is uncommon among humans, a bond, a union. I offer you marriage. Jace froze, unsure if he had heard correctly. Marriage to you? Yes, she said simply. You have saved my life, Captain. You have demonstrated qualities worthy of trust, honor, and respect. In my culture, a gift of this magnitude is reserved for those whose actions have proven their worth. You have proven yours. Jace ran a hand through his hair, trying to process the words. He had heard of alien alliances, of interstellar treaties, but nothing had prepared him for this. He was a pilot, not a diplomat. He had never considered marriage across species, and yet he felt an odd sense of awe. The Queen was not only alive because of him, she was acknowledging him in a way that made him feel important. Why me? He asked finally. Why not someone else? There are probably many humans out there. Few humans have ventured into regions like these. Fewer still would have acted with such courage and intelligence. You are singular, Larvana replied, and singular beings deserve singular recognition. The ship's monitors beeped, alerting him to a minor technical issue. Jace focused for a moment, fixing the problem. Even amidst this strange conversation, he realized he needed to maintain control of his vessel. Once the issue was resolved, he turned back to Larvana. I don't even know if humans are ready for something like this. My people, we've barely started exploring the galaxy. She shimmered softly. That is precisely why your involvement is meaningful. Humanity has potential. You have proven that humans can act with courage, intelligence, and empathy. These qualities are rare in the galaxy. It is time that your people are recognized, not as observers of history, but as makers of history. Jace swallowed hard. He could feel the weight of her words pressing on him. This was bigger than anything he had imagined when he woke up this morning. But marriage, it's not just a reward, it's a commitment. How does this work? I mean culturally. In my world, marriage is a bond that combines trust, respect, and mutual responsibility, Larvana explained. It is both personal and political. You and I would be partners in thought, in action, and in purpose. It is a gift, yes, but also a union of two beings, two worlds, and two peoples. Jace looked out the viewport at the stars streaking past. His mind raced. He had spent his life in space, facing danger and uncertainty, but never anything like this. He felt fear, yes, but also a strange excitement. This was not just adventure. This was something that could change the course of humanity itself. Let's say I consider it, he said slowly. What happens next? Larvana's light pulsed gently. First, you must meet my people. You will travel with me to my homeworld. There my council will evaluate the union. It is not a formality, but a tradition. They will wish to understand you, your motives, and your values. It is important that both parties are respected in this process. Jace nodded. So, I'm meeting a council of alien leaders. This is definitely not like any promotion ceremony back on Earth. Indeed, Larvana said. Her tone carried a hint of amusement, though it was faint. They are wise, just, and careful. They will not judge lightly, but they will see the same qualities in you that I have seen. For the next few hours, the human ship traveled in silence, the only sounds being the hum of the engines and the occasional flicker of light from Larvana. Jace studied her as best he could. She did not eat, nor sleep in the way humans did. Her form seemed to shift slightly, like liquid light, yet her presence was solid enough to command attention. He realized that while she was physically beautiful, it was her strength, wisdom, and calm authority that made her truly remarkable. Eventually, Larvana spoke again. You may be wondering why I offer this bond so soon after your arrival in my life. I am, Jace admitted. Because, she said, her form glowing brighter for emphasis, humanity is at a critical point in the galaxy. Your species is young, but it has potential. My people have observed many civilizations rise and fall. Few have the balance of courage, intelligence, and empathy required to thrive in the cosmos. You may be one of them. Your union with me could mark the beginning of a partnership that benefits both our peoples. Jace felt a mix of pride and apprehension. The idea that one human could influence an entire interstellar alliance was overwhelming, and yet he could not deny the truth in her words. Humans were explorers, inventors, and sometimes foolish, but they also had an uncanny ability to adapt, to survive, and to inspire. He finally asked the question that had been forming in his mind. "And if I refuse?" Larvana's voice was steady. "You will not be forced. Choice is sacred in my world. But consider carefully, Captain. This is not only a gift for you, but a recognition of the qualities your species can offer the galaxy. You have already proven your worth. Refusal would not diminish that, but it may limit the opportunities to shape the future." Jace nodded slowly. "So this isn't just about me, it's about what humans can contribute." "Yes," she confirmed, "and what we can learn from one another. A partnership is strongest when both parties bring their strengths and respect their differences. That is the foundation of all lasting bonds, personal, political, and interstellar." Hours passed as the ship approached Larvana's homeworld. Jace watched in awe as the planet came into view. It was larger than Earth, with swirling clouds of green and blue, vast oceans, and floating landmasses that defied human physics. Cities of crystalline structures sparkled in the sunlight, connected by bridges of light and floating pathways. The entire planet seemed alive, pulsing with energy. "This is incredible," Jace whispered. Larvana's voice resonated gently in his mind. "This is my home. My people will meet you soon. They will test not only your courage and intelligence, but also your character. They will observe your actions and decisions. Prepare yourself. First impressions are powerful." Jace took a deep breath, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. He had faced alien creatures, extreme danger, and even death, but nothing had prepared him for meeting an entire civilization. He realized that the coming days would be more challenging than anything he had experienced. As the ship descended toward the planet's surface, Jace felt a sense of determination. He had rescued Larvana, yes, but now he understood that his actions had consequences far beyond what he had imagined. He was no longer just a pilot. He was a representative of humanity, perhaps the first human to be recognized in the wider galaxy. Larvana's glow brightened as the landing platform came into view. "Remember, Captain," she said, "act with honesty, courage, and respect. That is what will open doors, not only to my people, but to the galaxy itself." Jace nodded, gripping the controls tightly. "I'll do my best." As the ship touched down, the platform beneath them hummed with energy, and figures began to emerge from the crystalline city. Tall, elegant beings, their forms shimmering like Larvana's, observed him closely. Their eyes were sharp, intelligent, and full of curiosity. The council had arrived. Jace felt his heart race. The real test was about to begin. But one thought gave him strength. Humans had faced impossible odds before, and they had always found a way. And now, in the heart of an alien world, Captain Jace Rylan would prove that humanity's courage and ingenuity could shine even among the stars. The crystalline city of Larvana's homeworld glimmered under the planet's twin suns. Floating pathways connected immense towers of light, and alien ships hummed softly in the sky, weaving between buildings with precision and grace. Captain Jace Rylan felt both awe and nervousness as he stepped from his ship onto the landing platform. Though he had faced danger in space countless times, nothing had prepared him for the presence of an entire civilization, watching him with quiet scrutiny. Larvana glided beside him, her form shimmering like a living rainbow. "Welcome to my world, Captain. These beings you see are my council. They will guide the trials that follow. You will be tested, not with weapons or violence, but with challenges that reveal your courage, intelligence, and morality. Your actions will show whether humanity is truly ready to join us as equals." Jace swallowed hard, nodding. "Trials, got it. What kind of challenges?" "That will be revealed in time," Larvana said. "Patience and adaptability are the first traits to be tested." The council awaited them in a grand hall carved from light and crystal. The walls refracted the sun's rays into patterns that danced across the floor. Each council member was taller than a human, their bodies shimmering with subtle shifts of color, and their eyes, if they could be called eyes, glowed with intelligence. One by one, they regarded Jace silently, and he felt the weight of their scrutiny. A figure stepped forward. "Captain Jace Rylan," it said, its voice echoing in the hall without the need for sound, as if thoughts themselves were being projected. You have rescued our queen and proven courage. Now you must prove wisdom, fairness, and the ability to lead. The trials begin with the trial of courage. Jace nodded, his pulse quickening. I'm ready. The council members raised their hands and the floor beneath him shifted. In an instant, he was no longer in the hall. The crystalline walls dissolved, replaced by a rocky terrain illuminated by strange green light. A series of large boulders blocked a narrow path, and shadowy figures moved in the distance. Larvana's voice echoed in his mind. The trial will simulate dangerous conditions. You must navigate the terrain and reach the other side without harming others unnecessarily. Courage is not recklessness. It is measured action in the face of danger. Jace adjusted his gear and advanced cautiously. The shadowy figures moved closer. At first, they appeared hostile, sharp edges and glowing eyes, but as he approached, he realized they were automated guardians programmed to test reactions. Some were aggressive, but they could be outsmarted or avoided. Jace used his knowledge of physics and human ingenuity to maneuver through the obstacles, using rocks as cover and creating diversions to avoid unnecessary conflict. Hours passed, and Jace's mind raced with each decision. Whenever he hesitated, a glowing hand guided him subtly, Larvana's presence offering reassurance without interference. At last, he reached a wide clearing where a light pulsed from the ground. Stepping into it transported him back to the council hall. You have shown courage, the leading council member said. But courage alone is not enough. You must now demonstrate intelligence and creativity in the trial of wisdom. The council raised their hands again, and Jace found himself on a floating platform above a network of alien machinery. Beams of light created barriers, and intricate puzzles blocked his path. Symbols glowed in patterns, and mechanical doors required precise sequences to open. This is complicated, Jace muttered to himself, but he quickly noticed that the symbols followed logical patterns. Human reasoning had often relied on pattern recognition, and now it was his greatest advantage. He worked through each puzzle methodically, observing how light refracted, how pressure plates responded, and how timing affected movement. At one point, a section of the machinery threatened to collapse under his weight. Jace thought quickly, using a piece of alien material as a lever to stabilize it. The platform shifted, and a series of doors opened, revealing the next stage. You have demonstrated intelligence and adaptability, the council announced. Now the final trial awaits, the trial of morality. The landscape transformed again, this time into a village filled with alien beings. They were being threatened by a massive energy storm, which the council simulated to test decision-making under moral pressure. Villagers cried for help, and the storm advanced rapidly. Jace observed the situation. The safest option was to secure himself on a nearby platform, avoiding danger entirely. But the villagers were helpless, and he realized that his actions here would define the kind of leader he could be. Without hesitation, he devised a plan. Using his human ingenuity, he activated a combination of shields and energy conduits. He guided villagers to safety while simultaneously stabilizing the structures around them. At one point, he had to choose between saving a group of adults or a group of children first. His decision balanced risk and potential outcome, demonstrating fairness, empathy, and strategic thinking. Hours passed. The storm finally subsided and all villagers were safe. The council observed silently, and Jace felt a moment of exhaustion but also pride. He had faced each challenge with courage, intelligence, and morality. The landscape dissolved, returning him to the council hall. Larvana floated nearby, her colors shifting warmly. You have done well, Captain. You have shown not only human qualities, but something more: adaptability, resourcefulness, and respect for life. These are rare traits across the galaxy. Jace wiped sweat from his brow, feeling both relieved and exhausted. So, did I pass? The council nodded collectively. You have passed the trials, Captain Jace Rylan. Your actions have demonstrated that humanity is capable of more than survival. They are capable of wisdom and compassion. You have shown that humans can contribute meaningfully to the balance of the galaxy. Larvana's light intensified as she addressed him directly. Your people now have a place among those who shape the cosmos. Your courage, intelligence, and morality have earned the respect of my people. And now, the Council and I extend an invitation. Consider the union I offered. You have proven yourself worthy of trust, honor, and partnership. Jace felt the weight of her words. The trials had not only tested him, they had revealed the potential of humanity itself. And while he had faced danger, solved complex puzzles, and made life-and-death decisions, he had also learned something deeper. Humans could be more than observers of the galaxy. They could be contributors, leaders, and protectors. "Thank you," he said finally, his voice steady. I need time to think, but I understand now why you offered this union. It's not just about me, it's about humanity, too." Larvana's presence pulsed gently. "Time is yours, Captain, but remember, opportunity comes but once. Decisions shape not only our destinies, but the destinies of countless others. Consider carefully." Jace nodded, stepping back to absorb the magnitude of the moment. He had always been a pilot, navigating through unknown dangers and making split-second decisions. But now he realized that leadership was not only about skill, it was about heart, judgment, and responsibility. And the galaxy had just placed that responsibility squarely in his hands. He walked to a balcony overlooking the crystalline city, taking in the view. Beings moved along the floating pathways, their forms reflecting the sunlight in brilliant colors. Ships soared through the sky, precise and elegant in their patterns. And yet, amidst all this, he felt a sense of connection, a realization that his actions and the actions of humans could truly matter in the vast expanse of the cosmos. Larvana floated beside him. "You have succeeded, Captain. You have proven what humans are capable of when they act with courage, intelligence, and morality. The Council sees your worth, and I see it as well." Jace looked at her, feeling a mixture of awe and humility. "It's a lot to take in. But I understand now that humans have more to offer than we sometimes realize. We just need the chance to prove it." "You have proven it," Larvana said, "and now the galaxy will take notice." The human pilot felt a surge of pride and determination. He had faced the trials, met the expectations of an entire civilization, and survived challenges that tested every part of him. And he knew, deep in his heart, that the adventures were only beginning. Because the union offered to him by the alien queen was more than a reward, it was a doorway. A doorway to a future where humans could rise among the stars, not as mere travelers, but as contributors, leaders, and heroes. And Captain Jace Rylan intended to step through it with courage, intelligence, and morality intact. The city of crystalline towers gleamed under the twin suns of Larvana's homeworld, its light reflecting off every surface in brilliant patterns. Captain Jace Rylan moved through the grand halls with a mixture of awe and caution. The trials had been difficult, but he had passed them, proving humanity's courage, intelligence, and morality. He felt a sense of accomplishment, but he also knew that the political structure of an alien civilization could be far more complex than any physical challenge he had faced. Larvana floated beside him, her light shimmering softly. "The Council has accepted your performance in the trials, Captain, but not all beings here act in harmony. You may find that admiration and respect coexist with envy and suspicion." Jace frowned. "You mean people might not like me?" "It is not personal," she said. "It is politics. Some see your presence and the possibility of union with me as a threat. They fear change. They fear the influence of a species they do not understand. These are the ones you must watch." Jace's human instincts sharpened. "How do I deal with that?" "Carefully," Larvana replied. "Observe, listen, and act only when necessary. Patience is often the strongest weapon." The next day, Jace was invited to attend the Council's official meeting, held in a massive hall suspended high above the city. The floor was transparent, revealing the bustling streets far below, and the walls reflected light in infinite patterns. Each council member took their place in the circle, their forms shimmering and shifting in subtle colors. As the meeting began, Jace noticed whispers of disapproval, small shifts in the council members' colors that suggested unease or resentment. One figure, taller and darker than the others, watched him with intense scrutiny. Jace had learned to read alien body language through Larvana's guidance, and he sensed that this individual, known as Vaynar, did not welcome his presence. "You have passed the trials, human," the lead council member announced. "Yet wisdom is measured not only in courage and intellect, but also in understanding. There are concerns that your influence may disrupt the balance of our governance." Jace nodded politely. "I understand. I only wish to contribute positively, to show that humans can act with respect and responsibility." Vaynar's voice, low and sharp, cut through the hall. Respect is not enough. History shows that outsiders bring chaos. Your species may be brave, but bravery alone does not grant understanding of our ways. Larvana's light pulsed sharply at his side. Vaynar, she said firmly, your concern is noted, but we will not judge worth solely on fear of the unknown. Vaynar's eyes narrowed. Fear is not the issue, Queen Larvana. Prudence is. Change must be tempered with caution, otherwise catastrophe follows. Jace took a steady breath. He had faced physical danger, but he had never dealt with politics of this magnitude. He knew that caution alone would not be enough. He had to act decisively, but wisely. The meeting ended without resolution, leaving Jace with a sense of unease. He returned to his quarters, thinking deeply. The trials had shown what humans could do in dangerous or controlled scenarios. But here, in a world of politics and ambition, he realized that danger took a different form, one that required observation, insight, and careful strategy. Later that evening, as he walked through the floating gardens that stretched between towers, Jace overheard fragments of conversation. Servants and council aides whispered of a plot to challenge Larvana's rule, citing the humans' influence as the catalyst. Jace's pulse quickened. He approached a small group, careful to appear casual. "What are you talking about?" he asked, his voice steady. One aide looked startled but quickly recovered. "Nothing, just idle conversation, Captain." Jace studied their expressions carefully. Humans had a saying, actions often revealed more than words. He realized they were telling the truth only partially. The plot existed, and it was serious. He needed to act, but he also needed proof and allies. The next morning, he spoke privately with Larvana. "There's a conspiracy," he said bluntly. "Some council members are planning to overthrow you, using me as an excuse for their actions." Larvana's form shifted to a sharp, alert glow. "I had suspected some resistance. You have been wise to observe closely." "This is delicate, Captain. Do not act rashly. We must protect both you and the stability of my people." Jace nodded. "I understand, but I can help. I may be human, but humans have experience in strategy and problem-solving. Maybe I can find a way to prevent disaster before it begins." "Very well," she said. "But remember, subtlety is key. This is not a battlefield in the traditional sense. Words, observation, and timing are weapons as powerful as any sword or laser." Over the following days, Jace used his human ingenuity to gather information. He observed council members discreetly, noting inconsistencies in their behavior and movements. He noticed coded messages, small signals passed between allies of Vaynar. With careful deduction, he began mapping out the conspiracy, identifying who would act, when, and how. Jace devised a plan to preempt the coup without sparking panic. He realized that direct confrontation would be dangerous. Instead, he needed evidence, strategy, and the right moment to intervene. Using his knowledge of human tactics, he created subtle diversions, redirecting resources and attention while gathering proof of the plot. Finally, the moment arrived. Vaynar and his allies made their move, attempting to seize control of the council chambers during a ceremonial meeting. Jace acted quickly, using a combination of strategy and daring. He intercepted key council aides, presented undeniable evidence of the conspiracy, and guided loyal guards to secure critical points in the chamber. The confrontation was tense but contained. Vaynar's plot collapsed before it could fully form, and the Queen's authority remained intact. Jace's actions had prevented chaos without bloodshed, a testament to human ingenuity and courage. The council reconvened, this time with a new respect for the human captain. Larvana addressed them. "Captain Jace Rylan has demonstrated not only bravery in trials, but wisdom in matters of governance. His actions have preserved stability and prevented conflict. It is clear that humanity possesses qualities worthy of trust and partnership." Jace felt a mixture of relief and pride. He had never imagined that he would play a role in interstellar politics, yet here he was, guiding the fate of an alien civilization through clever observation, strategy, and decisive action. Later, Larvana approached him privately. "You have done more than I expected, Captain. Not only have you survived trials and impressed the Council, but you have also preserved the stability of my people. Your courage, intelligence, and resourcefulness have proven invaluable." Jace scratched his head, smiling slightly. "I just did what I thought was right. I guess humans have a way of stepping up when needed." "You have done more than step up," Larvana said softly. You have proven that humans are capable of contributing meaningfully to the galaxy. And now your role grows even more important. The offer I made remains. But it is clear that you are more than capable of being a partner, not just to me, but to my people. Jace felt the weight of her words, realizing that the union she proposed was not merely symbolic. It was a recognition of humanity's potential and a call to responsibility. He had entered this world as a pilot, faced trials of courage, intelligence, and morality, and now he had thwarted a conspiracy. His actions had shown that humans could rise to challenges beyond their own understanding. As he walked through the gardens that evening, reflecting on the day's events, Jace realized that the journey ahead would be even more complex. The galaxy was vast, full of unknown dangers and opportunities, and humans were only beginning to understand their place within it. Yet he felt a sense of determination. He had faced trials, conspiracies, and the weight of alien scrutiny, and he had prevailed. He looked up at the twin suns, their light reflecting off the crystalline towers. The city sparkled like a jewel, alive with motion and energy. He thought of Earth, distant and small, and of all the humans who had never imagined that their species could matter on such a scale. Larvana appeared beside him, her light softening. "Captain, you have shown that humans can act with courage, intelligence, and morality. You have preserved my rule and protected my people. You have proven yourself worthy of partnership. The choice you face now is not simple, but you have demonstrated that you are capable of making it wisely." Jace nodded, feeling a new sense of purpose. He had been tested in every way the alien world could imagine, and he had passed. But he also understood that his journey was far from over. Decisions lay ahead that would shape not only his life but the fate of humanity among the stars. And in that moment, standing beneath the glowing towers, Captain Jace Rylan realized that courage, intelligence, and morality were not just traits of survival. They were the foundation of leadership. And leadership, he understood, was exactly what the galaxy would need from humans in the days to come. The crystalline city glimmered under the twin suns, brighter than ever after the turmoil of the conspiracy had passed. Captain Jace Rylan walked beside Queen Larvana, his human heart pounding with anticipation. The trials were over. The conspiracy had been foiled. Now, the moment he had been both nervous and excited about had arrived, the formal union. The streets below were alive with alien citizens. They moved gracefully along floating pathways, their forms shimmering in the sunlight. Holographic banners projected scenes of Jace's deeds, his rescue of Larvana, his success in the trials, and his bravery in stopping Vaynar's coup. The entire city seemed to acknowledge him, the first human to earn recognition in this alien world. Larvana turned to him. "The Council and my people have witnessed your courage, intelligence, and morality. Today, Captain, you stand not only as a human who saved a queen, but as a symbol of what your species can achieve. Are you ready to take the next step?" Jace nodded. I think so. I never imagined humans could be recognized like this, but I want to do right by you, by your people, and by my own." A warm glow pulsed around Larvana, a sign of her approval. "Then let us proceed." The ceremony was held in a grand hall carved entirely from translucent crystal. Sunlight passed through the walls and ceiling, scattering in a million directions, creating a dazzling display. The council members formed a circle around a raised platform where Jace and Larvana would stand. Alien citizens watched from galleries above, their eyes shining with curiosity, excitement, and respect. Jace felt a mixture of awe and nerves. He had faced extreme danger, navigated complex trials, and even prevented a coup, but this moment felt different. It was not about survival or strategy. It was about trust, partnership, and the future. Larvana's form shimmered beside him. "Remember, Captain, this union is more than ceremony. It is a pledge of mutual respect and partnership. We join not only in personal bond, but in responsibility for our peoples." Jace took a deep breath. "I understand, and I accept." The council began the ceremonial words, their voices, or thoughts, resonating through the hall. They spoke of courage, intelligence, morality, and trust. They spoke of unity between species, the importance of cooperation, and the responsibilities of leadership. Jace listened carefully, feeling the gravity of the moment. Every word was a reminder that this was not just a personal honor, it was a chance to shape the future. As the ceremony continued, Larvana's glow intensified. "Captain Jace Rylan," she said, her voice carrying through his mind, "do you pledge to honor the bond we create today?" to respect my people as you would your own, and to act with courage, intelligence, and morality in all challenges to come." Jace straightened, his voice steady. "I pledge it." "And do you, Captain, accept the responsibilities of partnership, knowing that the choices you make may affect not only yourself but entire civilizations?" "I do," he replied. The words felt heavy but right. Larvana extended a luminous hand toward him. Jace took it, feeling an energy unlike anything he had ever experienced. The union was not only symbolic, it felt tangible, a merging of purpose, trust, and shared destiny. The council observed, their colors shifting in subtle patterns, signaling approval. With the ceremony complete, the city erupted in celebration. Alien citizens cheered, their voices like music, harmonious and layered, echoing through the crystal towers. Holographic displays projected images of humans and aliens working together, a future where collaboration and respect could bring new heights to both species. Jace and Larvana moved to a balcony overlooking the city. The twin suns cast long shadows, illuminating the floating pathways and the shimmering towers. Below, citizens waved and cheered, acknowledging the new partnership. "This is incredible," Jace said quietly. "I never imagined humans could be honored like this by another species." "You have earned it," Larvana replied. "And it is only the beginning. Today marks the start of a new era. Your people will be recognized as capable, intelligent, and compassionate contributors to the galaxy." Jace smiled, feeling a mixture of pride and responsibility. "I want to do more than just represent humans. I want to make sure we live up to this trust. We've been explorers, inventors, and sometimes reckless adventurers. But now, we have a chance to be something more." Larvana's light pulsed gently, her voice warm. "Humans have the qualities needed to shape the galaxy. Courage, intelligence, and morality, these are traits that endure. Your union symbolizes not only our bond, but the recognition of human potential. Together, we can guide our peoples toward understanding and prosperity." In the following weeks, Jace began working closely with Larvana and the Council. He learned the intricacies of their governance, observed their technology, and studied their history. But he also shared human ideas, innovations, and problem-solving approaches. He suggested new ways to optimize energy distribution across the city, introduced methods for faster communication between floating districts, and helped devise emergency response strategies using human ingenuity. The Council observed with interest. While humans were young compared to their civilization, Jace's contributions demonstrated creativity, adaptability, and courage. Slowly, their skepticism faded, replaced by respect and curiosity. One evening, Jace and Larvana stood atop a floating tower, gazing at the city below. "Do you think your people will accept humans fully?" Jace asked. Larvana's glow shimmered with subtle patterns of thought. "They will. It will take time." Change is always difficult, especially when it challenges long-held traditions. But you have proven that humanity is capable of wisdom, courage, and morality. The example you set will inspire acceptance." Jace nodded. "I just hope humans rise to the occasion. We've always been adaptable, I guess, but this is bigger than anything we've faced." "You are not alone," Larvana said. "Together we guide both our peoples, and together we demonstrate what can be achieved when species work with respect and understanding. That is the essence of progress." Days turned into weeks, and the human-alien partnership began to bear fruit. Trade routes opened between Larvana's world and human colonies. Knowledge was shared, from advanced energy systems to medical techniques. Cultural exchanges flourished, with humans teaching simple art and music and learning from alien philosophy and science. Jace's role evolved as well. He was no longer just a pilot. He became a liaison, a teacher, and a strategist. His experiences on Earth and in space gave him perspective, allowing him to bridge the gap between two species. He used human empathy to resolve disputes, human ingenuity to solve complex problems, and human courage to protect both worlds from potential threats. One day, while exploring the outskirts of the city with Larvana, Jace came across a group of young aliens practicing flight techniques over the floating gardens. They struggled to maintain balance in the light currents, and he noticed their frustration. "May I?" he asked Larvana. She nodded. Using simple demonstrations, Jace showed them how to adjust their body positions and coordinate with the currents, applying principles he had learned as a pilot navigating asteroid fields. Slowly, their movements became more fluid, their confidence growing. The children laughed and cheered, a sound that echoed across the city like sparkling bells. Larvana watched with quiet pride. "You see, Captain," she said, "your humanity has value beyond trials and councils. Even in small ways, you influence lives, teaching courage, creativity, and adaptability. That is the true essence of partnership." Jace smiled. "I guess humans do have a way of finding solutions in strange places." "Yes," Larvana said, her form shimmering warmly. "And your example has inspired not only these young ones, but also your people and mine. Humanity's journey in the galaxy has only begun, but already it shines brightly." The sun set behind the crystalline towers, painting the sky with colors humans could only dream of. Jace and Larvana stood together, looking toward the horizon. Their hands or their forms touched, a tangible connection of trust, respect, and shared destiny. "The galaxy is vast," Jace said softly, "but I feel like this is where we start, not just us, but all of us together. Humans, aliens, maybe more species to come." Larvana's glow pulsed gently. "Yes, Captain, the future is ours to shape. With courage, intelligence, and morality as our guide, there is no limit to what we can achieve together." In that moment, Jace realized that the Union was more than personal. It was a beacon of hope. Humanity had always looked to the stars, searching for meaning, adventure, and purpose. Now, humans were recognized as contributors to a larger story, capable of shaping the destiny of civilizations. As night fell and the twin moons rose, casting a soft glow over the floating city, Jace felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had faced trials, saved a queen, thwarted a conspiracy, and finally stepped into a role that carried the weight of entire worlds. And through it all, he remained human, courageous, intelligent, moral, and determined to help his species rise among the stars. Larvana turned to him. "Captain Jace Rylan, together we have begun a new chapter. A chapter where humans and my people work as partners, not just in survival, but in shaping the galaxy. Your courage has opened a door, and your wisdom ensures it remains open." Jace took a deep breath, gazing at the sparkling city. "Then let's make sure we walk through it wisely, together." And with that, the first human to be honored among an alien civilization stepped into a future filled with promise, unity, and endless possibilities. Humanity had proven itself among the stars, not through conquest or force, but through courage, intelligence, and morality. And Captain Jace Rylan, pilot, hero, and symbol of human potential, knew that this was only the beginning of a story that would shine across galaxies for generations to come.